I am so glad that I don't have to go through life alone. There have been so many times where I've avoided making a bad decision because I listened to the advice of people around me. I can't imagine trying to figure out how to navigate through life without the guidance of other people. And yet, there are still times when we think we've figured everything out and stop listening to other people. This is why the spiritual discipline of guidance is so important. It's a recognition that we don't always have all the answers, and that we don't have to figure everything out on our own. There are people all around us with different perspectives and experiences that we can learn from so we don't have to make the same mistakes they did. It's important to remember, though, that we also shouldn't just believe everything that people tell us. There is such a thing as receiving bad advice. Sometimes we can fall into the trap of only listening to the people who tell us what we want to hear and silencing the voices of anyone who disagrees with us or makes us feel uncomfortable. In doing so, we cut ourselves off from receiving even greater guidance, because there is always something that can be learned from other people, even if you disagree with them. There is value, though, in finding people you can trust and intentionally seeking their advice and trusting it more than what others say. When life starts tossing you around and you're not sure what direction to go in, it's important to have people you can go to who have proven themselves to you before. Look for people who have given you helpful advice in the past and pay extra close attention to what they say. We can do that without completely shutting out the voices of other people and placing ourselves in an echo chamber, as people call it. Of course, all of this is only one side of the coin. Half of the spiritual discipline of guidance is receiving healthy biblical guidance from other people, and the other half of it is then passing that advice and wisdom on to the next person who needs to hear it. There may be some of you out there who have received wonderful advice and encouragement from people who care about you, but have never taken the time and opportunity to pass that wisdom on to people who are in the same situation that you needed help dealing with. That guidance shouldn't end with us. We also need to help other people who need guidance. Now, this also doesn't mean that you've reached a place where you've figured everything out and only need to pass on wisdom without receiving any more. There is always more for us to learn and understand. Just because we've learned some things that other people haven't learned yet, doesn't mean that there's not still room for us to grow even more. It just means that we can begin pouring out into other people as we continue to let others keep pouring into us. We do need to avoid being hesitant, though, so that we don't wait until we've figured it all out before we begin looking for opportunities to help other people. Each and every one of us has something that we've been given that we can pass on to other people. The spiritual discipline of guidance is a chain where we allow ourselves to let wisdom and direction be passed down to us, and then we take our place in passing it down to the next person. God oftentimes places people in our lives to help us through the situations we face, as well as placing us in the lives of other people to provide that same guidance to them. So ask God, what have you been given that you can pass on to someone else? If you'd like to talk to me more about this subject, or you have a question you'd like me to address, you can contact me through the Sermon in the Pocket Facebook page, or email me at sermoninthepocket@gmail.com. Also, if you like this program and want to support it, you can pledge a monthly support on my Patreon page. And I encourage you to share this with family and friends who you think would enjoy listening to it or would benefit from it. Either way, thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope you have a wonderful day.